Whole space is the stage for me, and then usually if I perform on the stage, I know where is the audience. So for example, like my direction or how I imagine to dance for which direction, maybe it's already in my mind before starting to perform. But this case, it's in a way it's very free, like up to me that with which installation and with which jewelry and where to move, it's very free. But the whole space is limited. So this is a quite interesting combination that depends on how I feel, how I think. It can be very freedom, but it can be very limited. So I'm very interested in this relationship between these two things, and then I'm exploring these two balance during my dance. For me, if I dance with the jewelry, and then the moment when I touch installations, I felt the like direct connection between installation, jewelry, me became like a one. And then for me it was a very interesting moment. So for example, I felt in the very beginning I was surprised that I can paint, I can draw on the installation, because if I see the installation first, I felt immediately that okay, I should keep some distance from it, because usually if I see installations in the museum, I shouldn't touch it, you know. I shouldn't draw, of course, but this case was very special that they say that I should, you know, I can draw it, I can paint on it, and using the jewelry, it is also artworks. So I was like, okay, can I really do this? Then, so the moment when I touched the installation first with her jewelry was like surprising. Is it okay? Then, but after a while, I started to feel very free. That because this, I didn't think that I'm painting something on it, but this came from my movements, and it's actually trace of my movements and then dance. So in the end, after I danced and when I saw the installations with the paintings, was very interesting. So it was not the installation which I saw at the beginning, even the same object, same installation. So this changing after my dance and before my dance, and with the relationship between installation, jewelry, and my body was quite an interesting thing. So I'm curious about the people who visit this exhibition performance, how they see maybe the relationship between these three things. And then I was there, but I'm not there, but the people can really be there where I was. So I'm curious about this. So this is one of the jewelries what I'm using in exhibition performance. So this part is the kind of chalk that I can draw on the installation, and then I felt that it depends on how I put the pressure, how the color will be on the installation will be very different. So I should be very careful first, but then I was also very try to explore kind of a limitation that how much I can go a little deeper and then how I can put the pressure on this jewelry. And I could use this way as a pencil, but I was also could try to put this one in between my toe fingers, so I could really try to carry and use in a different ways with my body parts.
I think it's similar to improvising music with musicians, but also different. But this one aspect, the constant attention, being there in the moment and communicating constantly, is like a prerequisite of doing it right. Because otherwise, if there is just one moment of loss of communication and some disturbance in the communication, will render it bad in a way. In fact, I wouldn't think about building a series, at least not consciously. Subconsciously, obviously, there is something that will connect these performances, because the space is, well, it's not the same, but similar. The objects located in the space are more or less the same. Ayumi is the same, and myself, of course, so I think it's an opportunity. It's always an opportunity when working together with somebody several times to make new iterations of this collaboration. So even if nobody ever thinks about creating a series, it is a series after all, in a way that each iteration is a new variation on the same theme, and the theme is her, myself, and in this case the configuration of the space with these specific objects. So I think even if none of us is really thinking about this, if we do it like 10 times, it's going to be a series because of this aspect of variation. I thought of bringing some object, this object, which is in a way essential for me when I play improvised music, and also in this project it has this other part. These are connected with a wire, and I can hold them in my two hands. So the way I use it is not the way it is intended to be used. It's a game controller for a game console made by Nintendo, and you could play games with it at home. I don't have that console, so I cannot play games, but it is possible to control whatever I want with it by connecting it to a computer. So I use it when playing music because it can sense my gestures, and I can use my gestures in the air to control the sounds.